Hello, folks. It's me, Duhad, joined by Mire.
Hello and welcome to the Drunken Let's Read podcast, bringing you opinions of the crazy bigots from an altered perspective.
Yes.
Fuck it. Yes.
So, this individual who Mire linked me to because he was talking about how fucking ridiculous this thing is. Apparently, it's a fellow called Black Pigeon Speaks. Would you like to explain that?
I originally was introduced to his content through Drunken Peasants podcast, where they were watching and commentating on one of his videos titled Jesus.
Well, let me just real quick read off these three videos I'm seeing in the others by this guy section. One of these might be what you're talking about. Black Lives Matter, aka the rise of DINU, which has.
I don't know. I don't see that box. That
okay, well,
it's probably I have ad block on or something.
All right, well, I'll keep reading them to you because one of these is a few of these are actually rather interesting. So that first one, whatever. Second one, why women destroy nations/civilizations.
That's the one.
and the last one is IQ, racism, and the conservation.
And the conservative.
And the conservative, right? Yeah, and it's the video's picture is the intelligence paradox.
And it has a picture of Abraham Lincoln. Now, I'm sure that where he's going with that video is probably like black people have a lower IQ on average than white people, so that for some reason allows us to apply an average to individuals in our life and be bigoted.
But you know those are videos for another time.
Yes,
actually, some of these are fucking insane enough that I might want to do these another time.
Yeah, we'll see if this picks up in popularity or not.
Yeah, or if I can even fucking stand to sit through another one of these after this, because the first one is near and dear to the hearts of many of us at the channel. The Transgender, normalizing mental illness.
Yes,
mental illness in all capitalization.
Now, I would have to say, the thing about Black Pigeon Speaks that is sort of odd, first of all, as we'll see pretty soon, he is owned or supported by a website, which we might want to do research into that website.
Vidmax.com.
Yeah, and his oldest video is 4 months old. And yet he has this viewership of nearly 50,000 subscribers. This video has 180,000 views. And the thing about it is, you can find crazies all over the internet, and they usually have a really small fan base, with exceptions like Josh Feuerstein and people like that. So it's always sort of amusing and also really disheartening to find people like this who actually have a large audience that they sort of indoctrinate with these really backwards regressive ideas. But we'll get to substantiate that claim by viewing the video.
Yes, and it should be noted, I've never seen anything by this guy before. I don't believe you've seen this particular video.
I've seen parts and pieces of one of his other videos. I have seen maybe the first 30 seconds. And that was just the intro of this video. So we're going in mostly blind.
Pretty blind. So we're gonna try and watch this at the same time. So
it's in Watch Together, so it should be at the same.
Oh wait, shit! You have a Watch Together thing set up?
Oh fuck! I forgot to link.
Yeah,
professionalism, people. Professionalism.
that would help.
Yes.
Okay, Watch Together. This is This probably needs to
one of them newfangled.
One of these things that the kids use today. Oh shit! That actually means I need to quickly change this where the screen is showing because I had it fitted for YouTube.
Right. You can. Yeah, you can full. Okay.
No, yeah, but that would actually that would make it so the viewers at home could actually see it. So I'm going to quickly resize that window. Hopefully, there we go. I'm hoping people can now.
We should just put an annotation on the video like Total Biscuit does, where it's like skip the bullshit with the options menu to just get straight to the fucking review. We should just do that.
That's probably a good idea, and if I was actually making Total Biscuit money, I might even be tempted to put in that sort of effort.
Sorry, 30 people watching this. You don't quite constitute a substantial enough audience to actually put in the effort of an annotation.
I do love you all, though.
according to Duhad herself. So
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll look at where this is in the video and put a little marker in the description as to where to start watching. But
anyway,
then you
enough
miss all
malarkey.
this. Okay, yeah. Ready when you are, Capitan.
Okay. Playing for you, all right?
Yeah.
The transgender conundrum in 15 minutes.
Hold on, how do I?
Look at how pretentious this shit is.
Wow, that is. I didn't realize it was so popular. It has like billboards.
Fitmax.com.
Reality videos. Okay.
All references are in the description. I'm sure those are just teeming with intellectual honesty, those references.
Facts, not ideologies, determine reality.
This is Bruce Jenner, an Olympic medal winner and reality TV star, and has been lauded as a hero for transitioning and renaming herself CAITLYN Jenner.
And for killing a
He's
guy.
lauded not only for his determination and his courage.
I really like the interesting way that, by really like, I mean I'm taken aback by the kind of distracting way this photo is fucking turning. Like,
Yeah, well,
shit.
you got to make it look all flashy and spinning around for the kids. Yeah, the kids will get distracted.
chugga guitars. Ugh. Bruce
Okay.
Jenner is with the fucking, kinetic typography shit on the screen because I have a big website backing me to funnel money into my fucking stupid channel.
No, I could do it too if I had money and qualifications.
Sell
and
out to
effort.
anti-trans people, Duhan.
I'll do it for all the money in the world.
Yeah, enough money. You'd do fucking anything.
Oh,
Anybody
you
would.
better believe it. I am the biggest whore in YouTube.
I'd sell out my own fucking community for that shit.
But
Bass Beer,
told
proudly
me to
supporting
fawn
selling out.
over his new feminine beauty and stunning, sexy, girlish curves.
Yeah.
The world is getting to know CAITLYN Jenner this morning.
I wouldn't call it.
No.
Call me CAITLYN. Call her CAITLYN.
A brave Olympian, transformed.
It's really quite, I think, inspiring.
It's very inspirational.
I think he's courageous.
She looks like a movie star.
She looks
That
like
one
So
woman
glamorous.
fucked up the
She is
pronoun.
stunning. She looks
Yep.
beautiful. Wow.
she looks amazing. Look at that.
Dude,
I
she
mean,
looks-
as far as passing, she's doing a pretty good job.
She looks better than Bruce.
Do you think CAITLYN is actually...
Well, I mean, we have to consider it's probably heavily photoshopped.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, Bruce Jenner looked like a horrible melted wax person. So I mean, her transition has actually helped significantly. So.
Well, of course they
Well, yeah, they like.
used the worst photo of him that they could.
Oh, of course.
To, but whatever. I fail to see how see where he's going with this, with using all these news. I mean, I perfectly see where he's going with it, but it really doesn't mean anything.
Hotter than Chris.
Okay, I have to ask the most important question. Does she have a better body than Kim Kardashian?
It's been reported in Vanity Fair that Jenner has taken hormones to grow breasts, as well as hair removal and facial surgery.
Oh my God.
As is,
Yeah, as is the way most.
boilerplate and standard.
Yeah.
I like how Black Pigeon decides to use this photo,
Yeah.
and he continues to use the weird, just like uncanny fucking like warp thing.
It appears her face is actually like shifting on itself, and like this horrible.
It's just the surgery, Duhad.
Yeah, of
As
course.
to whether Jenner has been gelded, well, that's anyone's guess, as this information has yet to be revealed.
What word did he just use? Gelded?
Gelded? It's like, okay, so she's had her penis inverted into a vagina, but do we know if her testicles have also been removed? We demand to know these answers.
What a fucking just eldritch fucking like word he just used.
It's not
fucking
necessarily-
gelded.
It's not necessarily like the wrong terminology, but it's
No,
like
it's
super
just
archaic.
so like.
It's weird. It's a weird choice.
I mean, he definitely used it for the medieval fucking connotation.
Yeah. No, he's applying to people who have a medieval mindset, so makes sense.
Revealed. This is Jewel SHUPING. She's had a fascination with blindness that started in childhood. She would stare at the sun after learning it would damage her eyes, and by 18 she was wearing dark glasses and walking with a cane. Her desire to lose her sight was so strong that she decided to blind herself by having a sympathetic psychologist pour drain cleaner in her.
I don't
Right.
see.
I think the
how
connection
this-
he's trying to get at is that clearly transgender people are basically the same thing as someone who pours bleach in their eyes.
They don't want to fucking mutilate themselves and get a sex change. They want to be fucking the other gender, you fucking idiot. They
No,
don't
no, no.
want it.
Clearly, all transgender people are just sadomasochists looking to like
Yeah,
have
yeah,
their
and this blatant appeal to emotion for some actually fucking mentally ill person who
Yeah.
wanted to get themselves blinded is not transparent in the slightest.
No, but actually, what this
Experts diagnosed her.
well, what this
body-
Sorry.
sorry. What interests me about this particular case, though, is that it kind of begs the question. Okay, obviously, his point that he's going to try and get to here is like a fucking psychologist who didn't know jack shit thought that it was okay for her to blind herself because it's what she wanted. And it's like, when you are so fucking crazy that you are like, I want to be blind, I'm going to stare at the sun until I can't see anymore. Why do you need a psychiatrist to okay you pouring Drano on your eyeballs? Like, that seems like the sort of thing she probably just would have done on her own.
I feel like, yeah, and I also feel like this sort of demographic of people watching this video, not demographic, but this, I suppose political demographic would be the right use of that word, but it seems like they would be all for like libertarian freedoms, right?
Well, you'd think, but
conservatives are pretty. I mean, call me fucking Mr. Presumptuous here for saying that maybe his audience is mostly conservatives, but for fuck's sake, it's like if this woman wants to blind herself, shouldn't she be able to blind? Like,
the libertarian mindset would say that she should probably be able to blind herself because it's her goddamn choice.
it kind of is her goddamn choice. If I want to fucking cut myself and shit, I could do that. If I wanted to do any number of terrible things to my body, I technically own it, don't I?
Yeah. I mean, like, let's face it, what are piercings if not stabbing yourself in order to make a fashion choice?
And but again, he's conflating two things that are completely different.
Yeah, well, that's the easiest way of winning an argument.
Right. It's not. Well, I mean, he said it himself earlier in the video. It's facts, not ideologies that determine reality. But of course, it's not just. The thing is, you can have the facts, right, Duhad, and then you can use them and mix them around and conflate them any way you want to create and pave a narrative in the direction that you want it to go, and that's totally okay because you're using facts.
Well, of course. Well, let's instead of continue to jump on his down his throat for things he hasn't said yet, let's continue to him actually saying those things.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think he'll do probably a good enough job just making a fool of himself.
Integrity
Honestly.
identity disorder. Dr. Michael First, the expert who coined the term, said that in the world of psychiatry, cures are rare. Very often, it's about asking how you can make someone's life fulfilling despite their condition.
Yeah.
This is Nano, a Norwegian woman that claims she realized she was a cat when she was 16 years old and has adopted feline mannerisms ever.
Okay.
God.
So again, they're conflating transgender identity. What is the full? I guess it's transsexualism.
No, it's not transsexualism.
No?
It is transgenderism. Transsexualism is a out of date term. But,
it is.
Yeah, transgender. It basically is basically like officially it's body dysphoria. It's
I mean, what would it be like? Is it what is it classed as?
I
Disorder?
believe it is a disorder. Yeah, I think so. Like basically what it is, like from like a brain chemistry standpoint, is essentially that your brain has been wired in such a way where
there is a particular part of the brain that
is like wired to, essentially deal with the body that you are in. But in prenatal development, your brain was essentially wired wrong, and so it's sort of like you are supposed to have these things, and then they are actually slightly different than what your body ended up.
It's called the bed nucleus of the stria terminalis.
Right. Anyway, point is, it's an actual medical condition unrelated to believing that you are a fox.
Yes.
Rooted in actual biology.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Transgenderism is actually a thing. It's rooted in actual biology. Otherkin are not.
Oh shit!
Sorry.
Sorry. Oh no,
Sorry.
we're gonna lose
I know
all our...
we're gonna lose all our thousands of Otherkin subscribers, but I'm being honest. Let's continue.
When asked if she was born as the wrong species, she said yes. Nano prefers to crawl around on her.
Okay, I see. Again, it's an appeal to emotion. It's conflating two things that are not the same. There are reasons they are not the same. There are facts. There is evidence that they are not the same. And yet he is, again, trying to draw comparisons between these two things that are largely unrelated when it really comes down to it. And he's using this to craft a narrative that transgenderism is just as fucking wild as being an otherkin or wanting to blind yourself.
Right. Well, again, let's let him get to that point. We're only 2 minutes 40 seconds into a 60-minute video.
And pause at windows when she wants to go outside. And also, she said that despite her size, she can sleep in the sink or on windowsills.
That's impressive.
This is Stephanie Walsh.
I'm going to let it play because these are all
until he realized
non
he was
sequiturs.
Transgender at the age
of 46. Here we're getting to the transgender.
He left his wife and 7 children to live as a transgendered 6-year-old named Stephanie.
Okay. Now that is definitely conflation of two fucking different things.
Yeah, there you go. Did you know that this one person is not only gay, but also a serial killer? The shocking truth that all gays are serial killers.
So not only did he just casually, like, compare transgenderism with, like, believing or wanting to act like you're a little kid, but he also just threw in, like, left to 7 kids, just for good measure. Just so you got a good, you know.
You gotta feel bad about this horrible person who's destroying lives.
After 2 suicide attempts and a bout of homelessness, he found hope in the transgender community in Toronto.
Why is that a bad thing?
Hold on, let him continue.
He now resides with an adoptive mommy and daddy and spends his time playing with dolls and the couple's young grandchildren.
Okay.
So what is...
So I was wondering if he was going to, like, follow that up by just being like, well, you know, it's good that this person was okay or whatever. Nope. He's straight up saying that this person who tried to commit suicide twice, who was living on the street, was adopted by, you know, people who are going to keep her from killing herself.
And he mocked them.
Yeah, and then he mocked them.
The difference between these 4 people? Well, obviously a person that intentionally blinds herself and another who believes that she's a cat in a human body would generally be considered mental.
That's a tenuous assertion.
I would
agree to the first one. The second one is a little bit more of a gray area, I would think, honestly.
It's a very bizarre quirk, but considering the fact that she's, you know, talking to people, the fact that she has said, I'm able to sleep on a counter or in the kitchen sink, that means that she is clearly at least capable of...
It's like, would you call somebody with a diaper fetish fucking mentally ill?
Well, you know? I mean, but...
No,
obviously no,
obviously
because it's a fetish. Right. It's like, whatever.
If you call somebody... would you call somebody who, like, dresses like a cat sometimes and prefers to act like a cat mentally ill? It's like, no. And again, he's already... He falls at the first hurdle by asserting that those two are mentally ill. It's like, it would be reasonable to assert that these are mentally ill. It's like, no, it wouldn't. You failed to back that up with any evidence. Where's the fucking the studies that you're showing of, you know, otherkin are mentally ill, you know.
All right, well, he's still trying to take swings at slow balls here, so let's let him take a swing at the fastball.
In the rev up
contrast, the contemporary controlled media,
media,
osmosis and fear of being called transphobic, CAITLYN and Stephanie are both brave, strong, independent women that need to be congratulated for finding the courage to transition, and especially Stephanie, who not only lives as a transgender but also as a 6-year-old.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. You're wrong. You're wrong because the media never talked about that one.
Well,
They
I'm
never
sure that-
talked about that one, and I'm sure that they would never, in a million years, go, yeah, dipping out on 7 kids was totally good. Like, that's totally a good thing. We fully support this person in their transition. And the way that he said a lot of that was obviously...
Well, he's
there's
calling
an obvious
out
agenda
the
behind what he's saying.
he's calling out the liberal Jew-run media for their
Right.
obvious attempts
Exactly.
at spinning a narrative.
For fear of being called transphobic.
Oh,
It's like,
God.
the media does stuff for money.
Yeah.
That's why they do it.
Here's the thing. If they're afraid of being called transphobic, it's probably because the majority of the population would call them out on that. Because if they
And they would
wouldn't,
lose money.
they wouldn't be afraid of being called transphobic.
Exactly.
Old girl. Transgender is the T in LG.
Oh, wow. We're
Fucking
getting
rainbows.
colors and letters. Getting back to colors and letters. Good to see you.
and are lumped in with lesbians, gays, and bisexuals. While the L's, G's, and B's communities are mostly concerned with where they put their genitals, the T's are generally concerned with wanting to remove and or change.
You're completely wrong.
Yeah.
You're
Important note here for those of you not in the know. Transgender people do not necessarily, want to remove and or change their genitals, and also almost never want to remove their genitals because part of the process of creating
Nobody
new genitals is
wants
modifying.
to remove or change their... Nobody wants to remove or change their genitals. Okay.
Like,
Nobody wants to do it.
Even if
they,
you were,
they sort of have to do it in some cases.
like even assuming that this is a desire thing and not a necessity for creating body-mind equilibrium and dealing with a hardwired chemical imbalance deal. Even if you were ignoring that, a decent
Nobody
percentage
wants
of the
to do
transgender community doesn't actually necessarily go as far as to actively attempt to have their genitals changed. That's
Not
actually
only is it extremely expensive and painful and time-consuming, it's also a big operation, and it's like any big operation. Nobody wants to do it. It's the consequence that they're after. It's the payoff.
Fucking spoiler warnings here. Member of the transgender community. I've talked to a lot of people who are, perfectly happy, basically just being accepted socially as the gender they prefer. Most of them prefer to get on something like hormones or something so they can get a little bit closer physically. But the big thing is not having people constantly refer to them as a gender that they don't feel comfortable identifying as.
Because they So again, he completely misrepresents that community.
Also, fuck you trying to speak as a goddamn authority for, gays, lesbians, and bisexuals.
I understand that many see transgender as the last frontier in social justice.
Okay, it has nothing to do with social justice.
Well, not as the way, he's obviously using it.
No. It has nothing to do with social justice. It has to do with accepting a community of people, and fucking first step is convincing people like this that it actually fucking exists and that it's not a fucking mental illness.
Yeah, or at the very least convincing the people that he's able to reach that people like him are fucking idiots.
Right. But would you call the gay pride movement social justice? Honestly,
well, again, that word has become so conflated with.
No, it's been super misused, and it has a terribly negative connotation.
Yeah, I'd say that it is a movement designed to create social equilibrium, which you could potentially call social justice if that word wasn't as goddamn poisoned as calling someone a Nazi. But
Yeah, but it's like justice? Is that really a good word to use for including people?
Again, I consider the word justice to mean, essentially a fair and balanced system that protects the rights of everyone, which I would consider a form of justice. But again, it's kind of gone on to have its own goddamn connotations, meaning
there
totally
are
different things.
plenty of less charged terms to use.
Yeah, there's plenty of other ones, yeah.
And the very concept mobilizes legions of the vacuous at university campuses across.
Okay, so you're just going to ad hom a bunch of college students. That's good.
And grinding your teeth at my intolerance and basking in your own self-righteous, congratulatory, progressive
Yeah, oh, that's us.
That's me.
You fucking got us, man. My
Yep.
teeth are fucking powder right now, dude. You
Oh,
don't even
dude,
know.
I'm super salty right now.
I'm so basking. I am wide open. My dick is rock hard. Right
Oh
now.
my god,
I'm
fucking.
so congratulatory
sploosh.
and progressive
Oh my
and
god.
indignant.
I just.
You don't even know.
Anyway.
He's so fucking bad at ad homing his audience.
No, he's so angry. He wants
It's like
Spudman.
wow, none of those apply to me. Okay, continue. Now that you've put down that sliver of your audience, we can continue.
Indignation. Hear me out. Which I understand will be hard.
Yeah, it's already been very difficult.
The concept
Hard
of
as I am.
trans community is the problem
Okay,
here.
explain it.
You can't satisfy a community defined by an identity of mental illness, except by
Okay, no, the problem here is your definition of trans.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
That's
so
the problem here, dude. You're basing this on a premise that's flawed to the point of being nearly unrecognizable.
well, hey, you know what? He's right in the same way that homosexuality used to be designated in the DSM as a mental illness. The fact that we acknowledge the gay community as a community was the problem. We are indulging in their mental illness.
All we have to do is call them something else, like butt buddies. And they don't have to get married, they can just be butt buddies. And instead of being bride and groom, they'll be butt buddies.
Yeah, there you go. And, you know, they can indulge in society along with the rest of us as long as they keep their perversion down.
Right,
You know,
as long as they don't tarnish
ask, don't tell.
the sanctity of marriage.
Easy peasy. We have solved the gay
peasy,
problem.
lemon squeezy. Now, we just got to get those he-she's out of our schools, corrupting our children, and we'll be...
And out of our little kids' bathrooms, which
You know,
apparently
Obama's
Florida's
trans.
by indulging it. There can be no trans community any more than there can be a community of anorexics. Or
Why not?
There can totally be a community of anorexics or people who cut
There
themselves.
can easily be a community of anorexics. In fact, that's probably encouraged by fucking psychologists in some cases to get a bunch of fucking anorexics together in a room and go, hey,
Hold on.
talk to each other.
Keep going down the list. Keep going down the list for a second here.
people that cut themselves. Or the depressed.
Oh, okay.
And-
So there
and
can't
Meg,
be a depressed community.
I fucking got you on this one, you piece of shit. Because guess what our YouTube Skype group is? It is a goddamn community of depressed.
It's a community of trans,
Depressed
fucking
assholes.
depressed manics.
Boom.
I love how he. Okay, I want to see the next
manic.
paragraph.
You can have a community of the afflicted, of sufferers looking to overcome their illness. But if you would
Oh, okay. Well, let's
Hold
go.
on, let me finish the sentence so we can actually just take care of the whole title card.
Okay.
as an identity, all you're doing is propagating the
Okay. So what he was saying is you cannot have a community of anorexics, depressives, trans, whatever. And then he qualified that and he said, okay, but you can, but they have to be seeking to overcome that problem, not just indulging in it. It's like, dude, that's what the fucking transgender community is doing. They're
Yeah.
trying to overcome the problem of being in the wrong fucking body.
Yeah, the issue is just that your definition of overcoming the mental illness is kind of different than theirs. But the point is, we're all working towards the same end.
Nobody is like,
friends.
let's come to the anorexic club and talk about how great it is to not eat. You get into communities with others with the same quote unquote fucking affliction.
Oh man, you
Right.
you have no idea,
Get
Meyer.
over it.
Meyer, you clearly have not ever experienced this sort of thing. I mean, me and Soundspeed, when we used to really be hanging out like every day, we were like, hey dude, guess what? I'm depressed. You're depressed. Isn't it amazing?
Dude, isn't it fucking great to be depressed?
hate myself. It is the best.
Dude,
Oh
the clinical
my
depression
God.
is the best. Have you got some of that fucking Zoloft, dude? That shit gets me wasted. I just take like 4 of those with a beer, and I'm sailing, man.
Oh, man,
Depression
it
is
is.
fucking rad.
It is the best, yo.
You get so much pussy when you're depressed, dude.
Oh man, dudes and chicks, they both love the depression. You just walk into a bar and you're like, hi. And they're like,
Hey,
oh
what's
my
up, dude?"
god, fucking splooshin' everywhere. great. I advise it. Kids at home.
Illness. And being transgender
No, it's not.
is a mental illness. Dr. Paul McHugh, who is currently Distinguished Service
Appeal to authority.
Professor of Psychiatry and former Chief Psychiatrist at Johns Hopkins Hospital, has said that sex changes were biologically impossible.
Yeah, what do you think a sex change means? That they're gonna get fucking ovaries? Are you fucking retarded?
Well,
And that those doctors who promote sexual reassignment surgery are collaborating with
Oh.
oh no, let him finish.
Oh, okay.
and promoting a mental disorder.
Okay.
Dr. McHugh, who
I thought
is
you wanted
the
to say
author
something.
of 6 books
Oh, no,
and
I
at
just wanted
least
to finish the sentence,
125
but-
Okay.
peer-reviewed medical articles, made his remarks in an article in the Wall Street Journal titled "Transgender Surgery Isn't the Solution." He explained that transgender surgery is not the solution for people who suffer a disorder of assumption. The notion that their maleness or femaleness is different than what nature assigned to them biologically. While the Obama
Oh, it's a great fucking start of that sentence. Just the Obama administration.
All right.
administration, Hollywood, and major media such as Time magazine promote transgenderism
They
as
do not.
normal,
They do not promote it as normal. Nobody is saying nobody's like, yes, it is the norm of fucking society
Well,
to be trans. It's
Tumblr is.
like it's not the norm, but just because it's not the norm doesn't mean that this relatively small demographic of people shouldn't be included and appreciated.
Again, I think you're misunderstanding this, sir. Good, dear friend. We have learned from history. Our great and glorious history has taught us that minorities are always some sort of bizarre abomination. Whether it be gays, Jews, Afro-Can-Americans, or
Those
any other
Negroes.
marginalized group. They are subhuman, weird mistakes that we have to just deal
I
with.
take back the time that I said that he was doing an appeal to authority, because immediately after that he did an actual appeal to authority where he was like, this guy wrote like 160 peer-reviewed articles, isn't he grand? Let's read this article now.
said Dr. McHugh. These policymakers and media are doing no favors either to the public or the transgendered by treating their confusions as a right in need of defending rather than a mental disorder that deserves understanding.
What fucking prevention?
I don't fucking know. That one confuses me.
What treatment? Are they gonna go in with a fucking scalpel and like cut the brain up? See, by treating their confusions as a right in need of defending, their confusion. There's so much wrong with that sentence.
There's a lot wrong with this sentence, but
you have a right to an identity. You have a right to be a human being. Life. You have a right to life. That's your first fucking right. Okay, that's the right in need of defending here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call
it whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But that is a right in need of defending.
So we're the basic constitutional rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, or the Declaration, but same. Basically, it's the fucking foundation of America.
Right. Now, you can call it confusions. You can call it a mental disorder, but they have a right in need of defending. That they have the right to take that on.
Yeah.
Okay. It deserves understanding. I agree with you on the first point. Treatment, hell, I'll agree with you on that too. Treatment, in the sense that they need to be treated to feel like
they need
they're
to be
not
given
dysphoric.
Options to help with their dysphoria. Yes.
Right. He's meaning it in the sense of they were born with a dick, so we need to make them not be mad that they have a dick.
What you have here, dearie, is penis envy.
And prevention, I do not know where the fuck this guy gets that. What does he think? We need to just like make sure the kid never watches E! News and they'll never turn into a fucking queer. It's like,
no, we got to find the gay gene. We got to find the fucking solution to kill the gay gene.
Okay, we'll find the gay gene and then we'll cut it out of every single cell's fucking nucleus in their fucking body.
Oh.
Are you pausing it?
No, I'm
Also pointed out studies from
that's odd.
Vanderbilt University and London's Portman
Oh, Vanderbilt University, yeah.
Clinic of children
That
who express
university.
transgender feelings, but for whom, over time, 70 to 80%, in fact, spontaneously lost those feelings.
Oh my fucking god, pause it. Okay. So, for the record,
Yeah.
we are talking, he is using as a defense children. Children, who, by the way, transgenderism generally tends to manifest during, like, adolescence. Basically, when you start getting it starts really kind of kicking in a big way is during puberty, which is when the body starts producing extra testosterone or estrogen, which is where the mind and body start to disagree rather firmly on what your body should be doing.
Right.
Fucking little babies who are going like, hey, I'm literally too young to actually, be affected by these things. I want to be a nurse when I grow up. Sorry, Jimmy, you're a boy. You have to be a doctor.
Yeah, they don't qualify what age either.
Yeah,
They just say children.
When you
That
say
could be
children,
any age between like 0 and fucking 18.
it's like I'm assuming that these are like cases of like little baby children who are basically going like, hi there, I'm like I have an undeformed brain and
It's like, yeah,
I think
I
this
wanted to be
thing.
a fucking like fire truck when I grew up. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
I want to be Indiana Jones when I grew up. Guess what? I
Accused
don't really want to be
views are
Indiana Jones
backed
anymore.
by studies from across the world. For example, a 2011 study from Sweden, which was a long-term follow-up of transsexuals who had underwent sex reassignment surgery, came to pretty much the same conclusions. That post-op transsexuals are more than 20 times likely to commit suicide than the general population.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Here's where your logic is flawed. Okay. Where's the number for pre-op?
Yeah, because that's actually
Boom.
this is actually a number
I bet it's at least fucking 20 times, dude.
Yeah, no, like this is actually one I have actually done myself, and I think I've read either the same study or a different article in the same study. But yeah, guess what? Post-op transgender people have a higher rate of suicide than the general population. They have a
So do fucking pre-op.
significantly lower, percentage of suicides than pre-op. And pre-op, who have at least gone through some form of hormone or at least social, help to get over, the worst of their dysphoria, have a significantly reduced chance of suicide compared to the general population again.
Well, would you look at that? It's almost like being able to accept yourself as the identity that you feel you are is conducive to a healthy environment for life.
Oh, that's fucking weird. This is like saying antidepressants don't work because depressed people who are on antidepressants are still significantly more likely to kill themselves than the general population.
It's like, yeah, but what about people who aren't on? Here's another giant chasm, like in his narrative, right? He said, excuse me, could you cut this part out, please, baby?
Yeah, sure. Let me fill a little bit of time real quick with some more ranting of my own. So while Myers away, I'd just like to again, this gentleman, this individual, I get why he is trying to do these things. There is people I've met in the past, people pre and post, starting to struggle with gender identity, who really think this way, who really don't understand this. What was that?
You talking to me?
But no, I'm talking to the camera.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna cut this part out.
Oh no, I was just going to.
You're just gonna fill time.
Yeah, I was gonna fill time because.
Okay, that's good. I had to say bye to my grandma. She was going home. So,
okay. Well,
so
you are a wonderful, wonderful grandson.
thank you.
Are you back or are you?
Yes, I am back. I'm back.
Okay.
My point with the. Do you want to finish what you were saying?
Oh yeah, I was just going to finish by saying like I know a lot of people who kind of think this way. I know a lot of people who legitimately try and look at the situation and work out the most logical way of explaining this thing that's very difficult to understand. And a lot of them go to what is the most clear explanation that they can kind of grasp at, which is that this is clearly something that is not a normal thing. It is a very, very small part of the population, a very tiny percentage that is transgender.
Much smaller than gay.
Yeah.
Much smaller than bi.
And those numbers are pretty small as well. And the thing is, you know, it's understandable if you've lived in a vacuum where you've never had to deal with these people and have only heard about them on the news and, you know, feel like, oh, it's just them Hollywood, you know, ivory tower East Coast elitists who are thinking this way. But the thing is, it has always been incredibly easy for just about anyone who has, you know, no experience dealing with other people to write off those other people as being, you know, just wrong in some way because they don't have to ever deal with them. And, like, this is why, you know, there have been so many, like, really notable, nasty, you know, like, racist caricatures and shit coming out of people who are actually rather removed from the populations that they are being racist and nasty towards, and why a lot of those people genuinely come off as really nice, understanding people, you know, aside from that. And it's because a lot of them are. They're just ignorant.
Take a look at a political map, and you'll notice a trend.
Yeah.
The red counties are the ones in the country, and the blue counties are the ones in the cities.
And even within, well, like, honestly, even within those political maps, if you actually break them down on a state-by-state, on like a district-by-district level, and sorry, we're getting into kind of a political thing here, but you will notice in blue states, a lot of, you know, country areas are red, even within blue states, and a lot of urban areas within red states tend to lean more blue. And that's just because...
You know why blue states are blue? It's because they have big-ass cities and very small rural populations.
Yep.
Fuck, look at the East Coast. Look at California. Look at Washington. We have, like, no rural population here because it's all just the fucking scablands in between.
Yeah, and most of the kind of swingy states are ones that have a solid mix. Like, I live in Maine. Maine has a number of very large cities, but not large by
Maine standards.
Maine standards. But we like, our small population is congregated mostly in cities, but with a lot of rural land. And guess what? Maine's a big swing state. You know, it leans more blue because we have a lot more of an urban population, but it's swingy because we have a very large, you know, working class farmland population. That's the way demographics work.
Now back to this fucking guy. So here's a big gap in his fucking narrative that he's trying to paint. He's citing this article, right, where he's saying trans people post-op are 20 times more likely to commit suicide than the general public, and he said that this article supports the last article. It in no way supports the last article. They're about two completely different things. This article is about suicide statistics for post-op trans people. That last article was about children who spontaneously lose their feelings of being trans. Oh, okay. No. Hold on. That's not what the whole article was about. I apologize. I'll admit when I'm wrong. The last article was about how sex reassignment surgery isn't the answer. Okay, so I guess they do have something in common. So let's just continue with this one.
Conducted over 30 years, from 1973 to 2003, and consisted of all 324 sex reassigned persons, found that persons with transsexualism after sex reassignment have considerably higher risks for mortality, suicidal behavior, and psychiatric morbidity than the general population.
Define psychiatric morbidity. Also, that is a very misleading sentence that is technically true.
You
want to say something?
No. We've already gone over why that's misleading.
You know, you can pause this video too.
Oh shit, I can? Oh my god. Well, I'll take that in mind.
Suggest that sex reassignment, although alleviating gender dysphoria, may not suffice as treatment for transsexualism.
No shit.
And should inspire improved psychiatric and somatic care after sex reassignment for this patient group.
I can almost hear I can almost hear like the just the, oh shit, this sentence says something that doesn't support my narrative, better really quickly read past this sentence and kind of disregard it. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, well, like this study found out that these people after sexual reassignment surgery weren't necessarily completely cured of dysphoria, and therefore they need additional help.
It's like,
wait a minute,
wait a minute.
my argument was supposed to be that this helps them not at all, and that, you know, abandon all hope, all ye who enter here. Fuck.
He should have just cut that out. He should have just gone in Paint and like cropped that little sentence out and then like stretched it out a little bit more. It would have worked. I'm assuming he edits this in Paint.
I assume that he. I actually would assume that like the way he does this is essentially he leaves in things that like would kind of disagree with this point and just basically uses force of personality, viewer bias, and the fact that, you know, it makes it come off as slightly more, you know, unbiased. Like he's presenting both sides to reinforce the viewer's preconceived notions that, oh, this guy is like right on the money. This guy knows what he's talking about. You know.
Exactly, and we're getting into wild accusation territory here. So here's the wild accusation forewarning. But in my opinion, this guy is just a talking head for this website, and these are probably in no way any of the views that he actually thinks, and I doubt he even edits these videos.
That's distinctly possible.
Research thus stated are pharmacotherapy studies that are 20 years old that used the drug Pimozide on a
Oh, it took you a second to pronounce that, didn't it?
cross-dressing man with a strong wish to undergo a sex change. The outcome of the study, as far as I know, has never been mentioned in the mainstream media.
You're hearing it straight from the fucking tap. This 20-year-old bit of research.
More like the lamestream media.
I've never heard about it between the cacophony of how CAITLYN Jenner is so brave and
Right. It was the cacophony of support for a trans person that in some way
hid a 20-year-old document
of a 20. You know why it's probably never been reported on by the fucking mainstream media? It's probably because by now it's been concluded that this fucking study is factually wrong. 20 years is a long fucking time, dude.
Man, no, the mainstream media is so fucking biased this way. Like,
it's the lamestream media. It's all those Jews just switching their gender left and right. They got enough shekels, they can buy a dick one day, a vag the next. Fuck, might as well have both. And they can have sex with themselves, those narcissists.
Oh, Jesus. No, but I mean, like, these people, they do it all the goddamn time. You ever hear about the Winston cigarette, trials? They found out that smoking Winstons improves your life by 120%.
Dude,
you'll never hear that.
You could live to be like 160 with this shit, dude.
My God, they're trying to suppress it. It's part of big anti-tobacco.
It's like that Mad Men scene where there's all the tobacco execs sitting in a room and they say, well, my grandfather smoked cigarettes when he lived till he was 90 and he never got a speck of cancer. And then as soon as he's finished saying that, all four of the men in the room start having this massive coughing fit.
Oh, God. That was so good.
So beautiful. But there was an excellent response to Pimozide 2 milligrams daily with a cessation of both cross-dressing and the wish for sex reassignment.
It's such a dated fucking study.
20 years ago, we found out that applying opium directly to the heads of homosexuals stopped them from wanting to have sex with men.
Assignment. When, after 1 year, the dose was reduced to 1 milligram daily, there was a rapid return of the cross-dressing and the wish for sex.
Oh, it's curable through Pimozone?
Pimozone. They're 20-year-old drugs.
Wow, if you inject morphine straight into this fucking schizo's dick, then he stops having homicidal tendencies for 30 minutes.
Actually, true story here. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychiatry, used to prescribe cocaine as a cure for a number of ailments.
Wait. You know, this is almost as good as female hysteria, where the cure was rubbing a woman's clit until she orgasmed.
That's Sigmund Freud. But like he had some pretty fucked up like ideas. But like one of them, which is, you know, related to what we were kind of talking about before, is like if you're talking about like old medical cures that technically kind of worked. Yeah, Sigmund Freud used to like prescribe cocaine to deal with a bunch of mental disorders, and guess what? A number of those disorders got cured by virtue of the person being so fucking hopped up on cocaine that they weren't able to think properly.
They got a drug problem that was probably like twice as fucking bad.
Yeah.
Reassignment. An increase in the dose again led to a remission, which has been maintained since
Hell, fucking correlation, causation, same fucking thing.
then.
Heroin goes
And
in,
the conclusion
heroin comes
was that pharmacotherapy with pimozide should be considered in cases of doubtful gender
You know what should be considered in cases of doubtful gender dysphoria? Months of fucking reflection and introspection.
Well, you could do that, or you could prescribe 20 lashes in the public square.
Pimazone?
Pimazone.
Fuck, what was it?
I don't know. Lobotomy drugs.
What was it? It was Pimozide.
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 Pimozide. You have to look that.
You can continue the video.
Okay, yeah, continue the video.
What the fuck
We'll,
this is.
you look that one up for me.
be considered in cases of doubtful gender dysphoria.
That was my favorite part of the video.
What
Oh my god!
reality-
Oh my god! Hold on, are you watching the video right now? We're getting fucking Gabe-Ama. It's amazing.
Okay, let's pause this on this beautiful image to discuss Pimozide.
Okay, Pimozide.
Is an antipsychotic drug of the diphenylbut. Fuck, I was gonna try and He-Man that word. But
Latin, basically.
Long Latin word with 14 syllables. It was discovered at Janssen. Well, okay, I'm reading. I have the Wikipedia syndrome, where you're just reading non sequitur shit that has nothing to do with the discussion. So, it's an oral preparation in schizophrenia and chronic psychosis, Tourette syndrome, and resistant tics.
Okay, so
Used in the treatment of delusional disorder and paranoid personality disorder.
okay, so we
There is nothing on here about it being used for curing the trans folk.
yeah, well, you know, it's just this is the
It's
Jews
probably
in Wikipedia.
because it's an outdated drug that was used like
Yeah.
40 fucking years ago, and nobody uses it anymore.
I don't know.
It's
Like,
probably bigger and better
you know, I could
brands.
probably like see something like this working, but mostly because this is probably one of those fucking insane old drugs that basically just
It was
you
made
know,
in the 60s, so you know
Yeah.
it's gonna fuck you up for life.
yeah, no, like you will just be fucking out of it, and like I'm sure it definitely suppresses trans, thoughts
my
because it's
grandma-
fucking suppressing everything.
Yeah, my grandma took antipsychotics, and it fucking wrecked her thyroid to where she has diabetes now. Like,
Worth it though.
It fucking like destroyed a hormonal organ in her body, and it's like, yeah, that's a good alternative to like
Hey, if
hugs and love.
If it'll prevent these disgusting trans folks from ruining their
From
body,
expressing themselves.
from
Life,
from
liberty,
ruining
and the pursuit of happiness.
Oh,
what
no,
the
no,
fuck are
no.
those?
You listen to me, sir. Okay, if these people are going to go ahead and mutilate their body, it is a goddamn, imperative that we ruin their body in the attempt to prevent them from damaging
Yes.
their body.
We need to ruin their body on purpose, forcefully, with something that won't even fucking work.
We need
This
to
is
kill
one of those
them.
cases where you don't really need to appeal to scientific.
I love how he shows this comment. Okay, it has 1,000 upvotes and 700 downvotes. Thanks for stopping by. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have suggestions or would like to contact me, please do so via email or Facebook. Thanks. That's not a real YouTube comment.
I'm fairly certain 10,000 plus.
That's
10,011 people commented. Upvoted or downvoted within 12 minutes. That seems.
That's not 10,000. That's 1,000. I mean, that's not a fucking real YouTube comment. You can't see the number of downvotes on a YouTube comment.
Also, they aren't highlighted as red and blue.
No, and furthermore, I don't even think that's the right fucking hand.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's the wrong font.
Yeah, that's the fucking Facebook thumbs up. This is so fucking fabricated, it's unbelievable. Anyway, let's continue.
Authority. As it's clear even enough to a layman to come to these conclusions. The real
If you're a fucking idiot.
controversy, as I see it, lies with people that try to proselytize to the masses on the virtue, dignity, and right for individuals to choose the life of a transgender.
You.
What's wrong with that?
You who are doing the exact same thing, just in reverse.
You
People
who are literally doing that.
You are actually proselytizing people to just go in the other direction. Like, that is...
Yeah.
That is what you were doing.
Do you have no self-awareness? Are you that intellectually dishonest that you cannot understand that you are the thing you are opposing? You are literally, in your thesis statement, the thing that you are opposing.
This issue has become such that even transgendered people will now be allowed to compete in the 2016 Olympics.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Oh,
Human
fuck.
beings can compete in the Olympic Games?
Oh my god!
What's next? Gays in our grocery stores touching the fucking food?
Oh my god! Oh god! If they're touching our oranges, I could have caught the gay. Wait, I do like cock. Oh shit! I've caught the gay.
Why is this in the video? What does this have to do with fucking anything at all? Is this the consequence of allowing the trans folk to fucking exist?
It'll
that
ruin
they're going to be in the fucking Olympics without surgery? Oh, okay, I see where the problem is. It's because they're going to compete as a fucking man when they're a woman, or a woman when they're a man, or whatever the fuck, or when their sex is of that. That's actually a legitimate concern, because human beings are physiologically different. They are sexually dimorphic, as my biology teacher would put it. But that's a different issue. That has nothing to do with anything you're talking about, dude.
Without surgery.
Well, actually, no, hold on.
And their dick doesn't make them run faster. It's their fucking muscles.
Hold on. And it's not even that. Like even as he's trying to bring this one up, it's female to male athletes can compete without restrictions, while male to female athletes must undergo hormone therapy according to new guidelines. In other words, no.
Wow.
No.
The issue you are bringing up has been addressed in the line that you had cropped into the fucking headline. You fucking retard.
Congratulations.
Do you have any peripheral vision? Christ in heaven.
With male genitalia will be allowed to compete against women with their original plumbing.
Oh, well.
And now,
hey, to be fair here,
joined most
because their dick makes them run faster.
Well,
that's the thing that makes them.
To
be fair, this is the same.
Strong. Is their dick.
Well, keep in mind, this is the same gentleman who, at the beginning, we pointed out, made a video about how women destroy nations and civilizations. So,
right.
Assuming that men and women are somehow going to fucking destroy the earth if they come into contact in ways that were not intended by God, is clearly in his mind at all times.
Why? It's said in the line that you cropped into the headline. In the line, even if you read that and you went, wow, that completely refutes what I'm about to say.
Well,
this is further proof that he didn't edit this shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, it did say hormone, it didn't say sexual reassignment surgery, but yeah, no,
No, but that's the thing. He's saying that, he's claiming, men get to compete as a woman, or still with a penis. Sexual males get to compete. Why does that matter?
Yeah, it's worth noting that part of the dimorphism actually is corrected by hormones. You don't actually need surgery to deal with the dimorphism.
Right.
Now, so his point about them still having a penis could still be true.
I mean, he didn't even make a point, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He just said words.
Statement.
And he stated something and assumed that we would fill in the gaps. It's like, them trannies are in the Olympics with their dicks and they're gonna be fucking the women and spreading the gay around.
I'm just imagining him seeing this as this giant bearded Zangief-esque Russian.
It's like Francis. It's like Boogie. It's like fucking Francis. But real.
Other NATO member countries. And allows the transgendered to serve openly in the military.
Oh my god.
Fucking finally.
We're fucking arming the
Minority
trannies.
Leader Nancy Pelosi supported the elimination of rules.
Wait, I almost thought that was a picture of Nancy Pelosi. I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
Oh.
that ban transgendered people
Not
from
that that's an
openly serving
insult.
in the
It's just
military,
Nancy Pelosi
as
is
she
a little
believes
odd.
there is no place for discrimination in the U.S. Army.
Look at that picture.
Hold on. Go back a second here. We were kind of talking over that a tiny bit, and this fucking line is like the most. I'm not a bigot, but let me tell you about black people. Like fucking line here.
Original plumbing. And now,
Fuck. Okay. Just hang tight with me, audience. I need to make that my new fucking Skype quote.
Great.
I'm not a big hit, but let me tell you about black people.
I am sure this is going to be the least controversial video I've ever put out.
I'm sure that yeah.
Oh,
Duhad,
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub.
2016. Thanks for the grub, yay God.
Okay, let's listen
Let's
through
continue.
even the
this.
U.S.
I apologize.
has joined most other NATO member countries and allows the transgendered to serve openly in the military. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi supported the elimination of rules that ban transgendered people from openly serving in the military, as she believes there is no place for discrimination in the U.S. Armed Forces, including on the basis of gender identity. Defense Secretary Ashton Carter overturned the ban on transgenders openly serving, despite the suggestion that transgender people may have mental deficiencies and be at risk for suicide.
So yeah, I just want to pause there. So he's just like, his point is the armed forces decided that, you know, trans people should be allowed to serve without being discriminated against. Dun dun dun.
That was literally his point.
Yeah, like that
He
is
made no. He okay. And for most of this video, he's not even making an argument. What like let's list the arguments so far.
okay.
Sexual reassignment doesn't always work. People or children have a 70 to 80% chance of defaulting back to, and
They're
not having their dysphoric feelings anymore.
Yeah, a single scientist said that transgender sexual reassignment surgery might not be the best solution.
We already said that.
Oh well,
Those are literally we're 10 minutes in.
Well,
and those are the two arguments.
To be fair, he said it under his own authority, and then he went back and added a scientist said it once too.
That's
and we
not
also
a
have
new argument. That's citing people to support your argument.
I'm trying to give him as much credit as possible. He needs.
There is literally no more credit to give him. He has made two arguments.
We've got one more. A 20-year-old drug.
Oh yes, a 20-year-old drug that probably fries your fucking entire body for taking it for too long. I mean, sorry, just going out on a fucking limb here and saying, is the cure for being a queer. Okay, so those are his three fucking arguments.
Those are his three arguments. Oh, and
actually,
for the military one...
No, he just read that and then didn't say anything.
Okay, well, we also have the military one where he just tried to make a point, which is that sometimes trans people might commit suicide if they're in the army, which is like...
Which makes no sense.
Okay.
It's not founded in any... Okay, they were relieving the ban on them openly serving in the military. They still served in the military.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like they're allowing these people to serve openly, despite the fact that statistics show that they are more likely to commit suicide than the general population. Because they weren't going to they weren't going to fucking commit suicide before then. They were going to be like, oh, I want to commit suicide, but I don't want to let people know I'm trans, or else I could get in trouble.
No, it's the opposite of that. It's now that I can serve openly in the military as a trans person, that's all the more reason to off myself.
Oh god.
The fawning of the transgender has
the
even
fawning of the
become a cause
transgender
to celebrate in children. One young male to female
they're coming for our chillins.
Transgender girl,
kids.
Jazz Jennings, even has his own television show at 14.
Oh, that's
and
a problem.
This is dangerous
her
for kids that are having gender identity issues.
Okay, real quick, before we get into anything else, and I do want to continue on, find out where he's going with this one before I get too much into this, but I think it is problematic that there's a 14-year-old with their own reality TV show. That is just.
I think reality TV is a way bigger problem than any fucking point he's ever brought up.
Yeah, but like even setting aside all the problems with reality TV in general, following a fucking 14-year-old
Honey boo boo, honey boo boo, baby.
Yeah, a goddamn child around with cameras 24/7. That's horrible. That is actually fucking horrible and like problematic as shit. So
Yes.
whatever else this kid's going through, that's a problem.
Duhad, I'm gonna start
As
calling
they
you
see-
Lacey. I'm gonna start calling you Lacey Green if you keep saying problematic.
The media and social justice circus, as well as the unique snowflake label and attention that being
No, gotta put it in snowflake there.
transgender brings. And they
Yes, people want to be transgender because it brings them attention.
Tumblr.
may take the very real and very permanent body solution to a temporary and treatable mental illness.
It's
With
not.
Permanent long-term
You
physical
cited
damage.
one article that had no conclusion in it, and you say it's treatable. You cited an article. You said, "Oh fuck, this article isn't even fucking complete." They didn't even conclude on the findings. You read the fucking abstract, dude, and then you said the Jews must have fucking hid the conclusion while they were talking about how great Caitlyn Jenner's ass was. Fuck you.
The American pediatrics colleges are now weighing in on the controlled media, social justice advocacy groups, and
Non sequiturs left and right.
even President Obama, as they zealously champion the transgender rights for children and their push to normalize mental illness in the name of tolerance, acceptance, and diversity.
Now, if okay, he's saying it's bad that transgender children are being supported because they might get a sex change operation and it's irreparable. And I would say children shouldn't be getting fucking sex change operations.
Yeah,
Can I say that and
Yeah,
not
no,
be a fucking
that's-
is that a non-PC thing to say?
No,
'Cause
actually,
personally,
this is something I was going
that's you should not do that if you're a kid. Honestly,
Yeah, no, this
wait
is-
on that.
this
Think
is
about
something
that.
I was actually waiting to find out where he was going with this before I weighed in, because I personally believe that there are some benefits to maybe starting hormones once the kid is old enough to make a informed decision. Surgery is one of those things that's like, hey, I think the current age restriction is like actually a legal adult, and that's probably a good thing. I am in favor of, what is essentially, major surgery, but what is major surgery? I was going to say something else, but what is major surgery being something that you have to actually get to a certain point on. And guess what? Guess fucking what? You have, in order to get on the list for sexual reassignment surgery, you actually have to have been living for at least 2 years as your identified gender. You cannot just go in and have that done.
There you go. Rebuted, motherfucker.
On the 21st of March 2016, a temporary statement with references was released by the colleges.
Ooh, it has references.
Pending a full statement that will be published in summer 2016. The American College of Pediatricians urges educators and legislators to reject all policies that condition children to accept as normal a life of chemical and surgical impersonation of the opposite sex. Facts, not ideology, determine reality.
Okay, so
What is
statement-
what is that line supposed to mean?
Okay. Let me take a wild fucking stab at this one. And I've not read this particular article, but I'm going to go out on a fucking limb here and say that chances are, when the American Pediatric Association says, kids shouldn't be shouldn't be given hormones and, surgery, they are probably talking about preteens. They are probably talking about people for whom it is already, as we've already kind of pointed out, it's not actually usually that easy to determine, sexual dysphoria, gender dysphoria in.
Because they are hardly even gendered at that point.
And
honestly.
hormones really are not probably a good thing to be pumping into a kid who is not even biologically, mass
any of
producing
their own hormones.
Yeah, like major amounts of testosterone or estrogen. So I'm guessing the American Pediatric Association is probably saying,
Well, hold on. Don't go there yet because we haven't finished this.
asserts human sexuality is an objective binary trait. No one is born with a gender, only biological sex. That a person's
Wait, hold
Well, hold on. He
Whoa.
didn't see. He's cherry picking this shit. He's not even
Yeah.
reading the full lines. Gender, an awareness and sense of oneself as male or female, is a sociological and physiological concept, not an objective biological one. So it's mainly just reiterating the other point. I do not see how this in any way
Yeah.
changes
But-
the discussion.
Yeah, everyone's born with either biological sex. Gender, it goes on to fucking like it informs is an awareness of self of one's maleness as oneself as male or female is a sociological and psychological concept, not an objective biological one,
Right.
because there's a fucking difference between sex and gender.
Yes.
But they're not saying
biological
in this article here, they're not saying, like,
No.
someone cannot be transgender. They're saying that, their physical sex is different than their gender, which is fucking, yeah.
It's fact.
sex. That a person's belief that he or she is something they are not is at best a sign of confused thinking.
No. It's not at best a sign of confused thinking. See, here's why I said that you should probably not get too far into giving this the benefit of the doubt, because I knew that fucking line was
No, hold on.
I
Hold
knew
on.
that
No, hold on.
was-
No, because number 4 here actually gets into what I'm thinking that they're actually going for.
Okay.
The use of puberty blockers can have serious negative health effects.
Yeah,
That's
so
not
what
what
they're
that
talking
says.
about here is preteens. That line,
Right,
that part
right.
4, literally is stating, don't give hormone blockers to preteens, because preteens are not, yet aware. Like, it is saying, we are, like, this part 4 here is fucking actually...
Okay, so you think this whole thing is talking about preteens?
I don't know what the whole thing is, but I know for a fact that 4 is directly talking about, the process of, like, the idea of going into preteens and preemptively giving them surgery or hormones.
Right, that's
Which,
bullshit.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Like that
That's
is, I mean,
abuse. That's fucking wrong.
Yeah. So in other words, so basically, without having read this article, just cherry picking what this guy has said, it sounds pretty bad. But with that 4 line there, and the fact there's a lot of shit he's clearly passing over,
Right.
I'd be willing to bet that this article is not quite as firmly on his side as he's making it sound like it is.
Probably not.
Effects. And that conditioning children into believing
Look, he went from 4 to 8.
Yeah.
a lifetime of chemical and surgical impersonation of the opposite sex is normal and healthful is child abuse.
Transgenderism is child abuse.
But yeah, like that could very easily, and I'm willing to fucking bet that there's a good chance that it actually is talking about, like, hey, if you're a parent and you have a 4-year-old kid and you start drilling into them, hey, you're born male, men are terrible, you need to fucking get a sex change because men are rapists, is child abuse, which it is.
No, okay. This is the way they worded this is it really. That's what it seems like it's saying, based on the way they worded this. Conditioning children into believing.
Yeah.
That's you are conditioning the children. That's the verb there.
Yes.
Trans people are not conditioned into feeling that they are the opposite sex.
No, he's conflating.
They are born that way.
Yeah, he's conflating the idea of people. He's also conflating the idea of people teaching acceptance with people teaching.
I wouldn't even
conditioning.
say he's conflating. I'd say he's purposefully misrepresenting an argument.
Yeah, and the people watching this are like, oh yeah, no, like this is a scientific study about how, like, those damn SJWs trying to teach our kids about how they should accept other people. They're conditioning children to think in.
It's like no,
line
this
with
is
them.
a statement saying that's bad.
Yeah, this is a statement saying, hey, brainwashing a fucking child to act in a certain way that's in
It's
line
child
with
abuse.
yeah, with your
Child
fault is
abuse.
child abuse.
Yes,
It is.
definitely.
Fuck.
The story of teenager Rhea Cooper is especially tragic, As at 18, he's Britain's youngest sex reassignment patient. Formerly known as Brad, and after 2 years of hormone injections, he developed breasts, dresses in glamorous outfits, and has dated several young men. Yet,
Why? Okay, why is the
terrible.
fact that he's dated several young men? Why does that have anything to do?
No.
It doesn't. That's sexuality. That's different.
Yep.
despite thousands of pounds worth of National Health Service treatments, as well as psychiatric and doctors' assessments.
Did he just say thousands of pounds of treatment?
Yes. To be fair,
has now decided.
England.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
there's a Brit. Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. I thought he meant like pounds of treatment, like actual pounds.
He wants to go back to being a boy. And this decision comes after 2 suicide attempts. And while 18 may seem young, there are examples in Germany of children as young as 12 going under the knife and being allowed to transition between sexes.
That's not what that headline says.
Unhappy boy Kim becomes youngest ever transsexual at 12.
That doesn't mean that there was an operation there.
No, it does not. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on this one and say that it's probably is in relation to a fringe case of this happening. Though I'd say that him saying there are cases plural of kids as young as 12 going under the knife might be a bit of a massive overstatement, considering the fact that this looks like it's probably some sort of like crazy like Guinness Book sort of thing, like, hey, we have the youngest kid ever to go under the knife.
Yeah, world's youngest sex change patient.
Yeah,
okay.
So it doesn't quite sound like this is an epidemic.
Looking at pictures, they're totally passing like really good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
not going good. That's still a bit young. I would hesitate at that fucking age.
No, definitely. That's got to be.
Yeah.
Going under the knife and being allowed to transition between sexes. At this point in the presentation, if anyone is still clapping at the bravery and demanding transgender people have a right to sex reassignment surgery, I encourage you to visit the website sexchangeregret.com. It's filled with heartbreaking stories from people who have transitioned and might help you understand why suicide rates among these people are so.
Okay, so we already completely refuted what he was saying before about that, because that is completely dishonest of him to say that. But not only that, but how is that supposed to change anything? How is that? It's like, okay, yeah, some people who, who weren't sure enough, or, I mean, say what you want. These people, they regret it now. That's tragic. Sure, I agree. Yeah. That sucks. They went through an irreparable, irreversible surgery that they now regret. What does that have to do for the fucking thousands and tens of thousands of people who actually went through the surgery and are totally happy with it and are like, hell yeah, my life is so much better now?
Well, those people don't fit into his
Those
worldview.
People don't count.
Yeah.
Get out of my safe space.
Astronomical. And if you still think that people are transphobic for not being comfortable with these procedures, or are so firm in your progressive credentials,
what does my political alignment have anything to do with my stance on this issue? I'll tell you what it has fucking nothing to do with my stance on this issue, because I do not align politically. So calling me a progressive is completely.
Well, yeah. Let's be straight here. Me and Meyer are fairly opposed on a number of issues, politically speaking. We fucking come together on this fucking issue because guess what?
Easily.
This isn't a goddamn political issue.
No, it's a fucking human rights issue.
To even attempt to reconsider your ideology, then it might not be that you are a champion of human rights, but a blind automaton lacking.
For who? For the people who regret the surgery? Fuck the people who regret the fucking surgery. They underwent the surgery and they weren't fucking sure enough, and they regret it now. Too bad for them. That doesn't mean we should fucking restrict the much larger group of people who actually who that improved their life. That's like saying people underwent an abortion and they got really sad about it, so we should ban abortion or something. Or,
I fucking love this guy's call out, essentially going like, fuck those robots who were fucking like just blinded.
Fuck those automatons.
Yeah, who are blinded by...
Donate to my Patreon at...
my political message. Clap for me, drones. It's like, it fucking, like, this fucking just comes off as like that Futurama with the Zap Brannigan is going like, we know nothing about their planet, their culture, or their way of life, but what we do know is that they think you guys look like dorks.
I love how him calling this portion of his audience that disagrees with him blind automatons is in and of itself a call to action for his blind automaton followers to like feel better about themselves for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Empathy and a heart, and choosing ideology over reality.
What reality? So far, I'm sure we've more than substantially pointed out how you have flagrantly misrepresented facts, cherry-picked evidence, cited studies that didn't even have a fucking conclusion, dude.
No, he's
what fucking facts are you talking about?
No, he's saying it's that we're letting our ideology blind reality, not because he himself is representing reality, but because he is representing the quote. Ideology does not represent reality.
Oh, right. He's representing a quote from an
what
article
he's really saying is
from the fucking like what was it again? Like Pediatric Society of America or something?
Yeah, like
I love how that quote that he opened his video with is from that.
Yeah, and again, like he's basically saying here, like, your ideology is blinding you to my ideology. Shame on you.
And it's like, no. Our honest look at what evidence you're presenting has opened our eyes to how much of a fucking fraud you are, dude.
Yeah.
How is handing an alcoholic a
that is the worst analogy you could.
Bottle of gin humane?
That doesn't deserve.
How is handing a drug addict an 8-ball of coke
appeal humane? To emotion? Appeal
How
to
is
emotion.
Giving these people expensive surgeries.
You're not giving them shit. They're paying for it. You fucking retard.
Jesus Christ!
That further corrupt their already.
This is like the argument about gay marriage that goes, if you let gays get married, then they're going to force you at gunpoint to divorce your, spouse and get gay married.
No, Duhad. This is the argument of gay marriage of if we allow gays to get married and if we allow gays to be gay, then they're going to go to hell. So it's for their own good that we're being bigots.
Oh, right, of course.
Because my ideology states that you will go to hell if you are gay. Therefore,
I gotta save you from that fucking hellfire.
That's the fucking end of my statement.
Did you know that if you get beat to death in a parking lot, that you will go to heaven rather than going to hell for being a gay?
Dude, that's trippy. We need to stone some more women.
Yeah, that's right.
Troubled minds humane. Real treatment is possible, but it involves treating the problem, not...
Well, okay, your quote-unquote real treatment so far has been one fucking thing.
Yeah.
A drug. With a Wikipedia article that's a fucking quarter of a page long because the drug isn't even being fucking prescribed anymore. Probably because it has terrible adverse effects. Okay.
But it worked 20 years ago.
Okay.
In a study.
Real treatment is possible. What real treatment? Substantiate that with evidence. You can't because that doesn't fucking exist. What goes to your standard of quote unquote real treatment doesn't fucking exist.
Agreeing with the mental patient and everyone pretending that the voices are real. The key is to treat transgenderism as a mental illness.
Yes, the key is to look at this fucking world in a very specific way, and then you will start to see all of the little intricate moving parts that create it.
Oh fuck! I just actually realized what this guy's fucking attitude is, and I'm sorry to keep on to just bring up another reference to Futurama, but there's a great bit where in the Robot Insane Asylum, there's the guy that's showing Fry around, telling him about all the robots and their crazy delusions, and they get to the lunch server, and he's like, poor Frank here thinks he's a lunchroom attendant, so they put him on the lunchroom duty. Like, hey Frank, how's work in the lunchroom? I was like, it's all right. It's like, poor guy.
Like I love how he has not substantiated this with any like actual evidence to the claim that transgenderism is a mental illness. He has not proven that beyond a reasonable doubt to anybody, no matter how naive you are. And then, at the end of the video, as almost an admission of fucking failure, he just states, the key is... Let's rewind, because I want to hear that again, because that key is key.
Not agreeing with the mental patient and everyone pretending that the voices are real. The key is to treat transgenderism as a mental illness and not to indulge it.
The key is to accept my narrative completely and wholeheartedly without the need for actual evidence.
I really fucking want to watch this guy's thing about how women destroy society at this point.
We got to do another episode of that. Stay tuned for another episode of... We need to come up with a title for this. I
don't know. Fucking, like, enraging half of our fan base.
Wait. We are... Oh, yeah, okay. Saying that half of your fan base would agree with this guy.
Okay, no, that is a horrible insult to my fans. I love you guys. You're far better than this.
So maybe one of you that is eating a Twinkie and listening to country rock and clicks this video on accident. Fuck you. Everybody else, you're cool.
Anyone who accidentally clicked this video and then collapsed in their chair, incapable of moving, has been laying paralyzed, unable to stop the video, which has been playing for like 30 fucking minutes. You know, like, fuck you, buddy. Also, we'll call you some help because you are clearly going to die.
You wouldn't hold a...
Oh yeah, we already came up with a name. It's the Drunken Let's Read podcast.
Oh yeah.
Coke and sex orgy for somebody suffering from mania.
The appeal to emotion. You know what we need, Duhad? We need a fucking appeal to emotions counter.
Oh god, that'd be great.
You wouldn't hold a live action role playing game event for somebody in psychosis.
You wouldn't chop off a tranny's dick because they think they're a female.
Oh my god.
Wait, you would do that.
Oh no,
that's one that actually makes sense. Fuck.
Oh, I love that his like one of his final arguments here is literally just being like, "Have you seen Maze?"
String of appeal to emotions, just like a fucking.
Oh yeah, well, no,
making it rain.
Even beyond that, like literally one of his last things is actually basically just being like, "Have you seen Mazes and Monsters? Those D&D players are crazy.
Oh.
By fucking LARPing, they're going to destroy everyone and start murdering homeless people as orcs."
Lightning bolt.
You wouldn't hold a comedy roast for somebody in the grips of clinical depression.
I would love to have a fucking comedy roast, dude.
Dude, that would be so much fun. I feel so much better about myself, honestly. Like, because you know the thing about comedy roasts?
Fun. The thing about comedy roast is at the end of their set, they talk about how much they love you.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. It feels really nice.
I mean, fuck. Now he's starting to misrepresent my demographic. This guy can go fuck himself.
The same is...
It's like how you felt throughout the entire rest of this video.
For gender disorders. Don't indulge the mental illness by offering the quote-unquote cure of a transition or the possibility of identifying as your non-biological...
No, take this 45-year-old drug instead.
...logical gender. Recognize it as the self-harm, as I said in the beginning of this presentation...
As I told you!
...as society does with anorexics or people that cut themselves.
Right, because those are the same thing.
Gelding a man to help him with his mental illness is like giving people with suicidal tendencies but are seeking help a gun, a pen, and a piece of paper to...
No, it's nothing like that. It is completely not like that at all. You are a fucking idiot.
No, but that sounds shocking as shit, so...
Yes.
Oh, and there we go, the end.
Yes, there we go. Okay, we gotta subscribe.
Oh god. Oh, face sharp equals racism.
Final words.
Wait. Face shape equals racism?
Yeah, there's a host of fucking videos we can watch. From
oh my god, this guy is...
You need to watch, Duhad? We need to watch a fucking Brett Keane video.
Oh my god. Well, I'm feeling...
Stay tuned for more Black Pigeon Speaks and maybe some Brett Keane.
Oh god. Well, you know what I'm gonna do after we're finished with this video?
Drink more.
Well, actually, I was going to say I'm going to go and take some hormones because go fuck yourself, Black Pigeon.
Yeah, take that with a beer. fuck that.
I'm going to wait a little while for this beer that I just drank to go through my system before I do that, but then, fuck you, Black Pigeon. I'm going to go and take my hormones.
Take 3 times as many hormones just to spite him.
I'm
That
just
totally
gonna
won't
take
result in terrible things.
I'm just going to use the normal amount, but,
That's
probably the best.
All right, well, thank you all for watching.
Yes, indeed. And we'll see you guys next time, if we do next time, which is sadly possible.
My name is Jeff.
Yeah.